Welcome to Debate of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't think I would do this, did you? If anyone thought, no, he's not going to do this, yes, I have to do it. Look, as I've always said, anyone who gets in that ring, I respect them. If they're good, if they're bad, or if they're ugly. It is not easy being a wrestler. You have to deal with being in poverty until you hit it big, if you ever do. You have to travel a lot, so that makes it hard for your spouses, man or woman, to deal with you. Your kids suffer as well, because unless they go with you, you don't see them often. So it's not an easy life. Next to getting hurt while you're doing this, even if you love it. And when it comes to Nikki and Brie Bella, I'm not against them. I don't believe they're the greatest talents in the world. For both of them, as far as my opinion is concerned, anyone else, you can think whatever you want. It's your right. But I'm seeing this for their all-around performance as well as what the WWE has depicted them as. And as they go, the WWE has not valued them enough to treat them well. Like most of the women in their professional wrestling promotion, they don't treat them very well. They just don't. Even though they give them a whole bunch of time on television, they don't actually do anything proper with them. So when you look at this, the Bellas are basically average, sometimes above average, counting if they're given the proper storyline and given the proper character or allowed to do a proper character development. Even though they do have some input on their character, this is what they get. This is what they do. And this is what the WWE gives us. But as put into the title, should Nikki Bella go? Now, I'm going to say it in this respect as them as a team. Nikki and Brie Bella have been working together for at least nearly 8 years. It's like maybe 7.5 right now. It's nearly 8. This thing I see it as, for Brie Bella, she can't leave. She can't leave even if she wants to. For the simple reason that a lot of people who don't leave the WWE, they make good money. Some people can make between 600 to maybe 1.1, maybe 1.2, maybe even 5 million a year, depending on how well they've done in pay-per-views, in merchandise, and what they believe to give them as extra incentive. And right now, her husband is back out again. So Brie cannot leave. If she leaves, she's going to have to go somewhere that's going to be able to pay her good money. And I don't believe TNA can do that. And I don't believe they're going to value her enough to do it. Especially she's just coming in from WWE. She's going to earn it. Going to ROH, AAA, or even New Japan Pro Wrestling for Brie would not be wise for her because she has a husband with a messed up neck who requires a lot of money to go for physical therapy, for examinations by the doctors, and possibly new surgery that can cost between $30, $40, $50, or $60,000 to $80,000. So Brie can never leave, at least until he recovers, or he says, I'm going to retire and I just can't do it anymore. That's the way it goes for her. For Nikki, however, it's an entirely different situation. Now, I'm not a Nikki fan. Yeah, she's got a great pair of tits. She's not a bad-looking woman. She got a nice ass. But as a professional wrestler, I see her as an average wrestler. I just do. I don't see a lot of things that are more better than the others. I mean, she's not a Tamina, where she's somewhat of a high flyer and she has a lot of size. She's not a Layla. Layla has great ability. She has a great presence. She has great in-ring work. She can do a good storyline. Nikki's not that good. She just doesn't have the par. She's not at the par of a Layla. She's definitely not at the level of a Naomi. Naomi is the best high flyer they have. But if you're going to compare them talking, she's had more time to talk than Naomi has. And as I said, Naomi is very good. She has good in-ring work. She can tell a story. She has a good-looking body. Just like the men, you have to have a good-looking body, and she does. But her talking skills are not there yet. She still needs work. She needs more time to talk. And she hasn't had that yet. So Nikki does have that over on Naomi. But that's only because she's had more time to be able to talk because Nikki's been putting the camera more. Now, I know a lot of people who love the Bellas going to say, well, of course, man, because they're better than any of them. Only reason they're better is because the WWE believed that since they're twins, they're a hotter commodity than someone who's not a twin. And that's the truth. Look at the Usos. I love Jimmy and Jay Uso. I do believe they're great talents, and they were moving a lot of merch before Jay got hurt. But one of the reasons why they did what they did wasn't because you had two charismatic characters, it's because they were twins. And in this case, this is the reason why they've been paired together so much. But let's get to the point. Should she leave? I would suggest yes. For the simple reason that if a Naomi, a Tamina, a Layla, a Alicia Fox, even Summer Rae are not allowed to get any farther than they are, and they're only allowed to push the Bellas, if they only want to push the Bellas, not because they have the ability, but because of the gimmick of them being twins, it would be better for Nikki to leave and go improve her craft, because she doesn't need to improve anything. Yes, she can pull on good matches, but she can't really do a character development. She doesn't probably even understand that the better character you have, the better the people like you, the more people come to the seats, the more they buy your merch, the more you gain from the company, the more they pay you. And even if she understands it, I believe she's come complacent. So the best option for her is to actually leave. And the reason I would say this is twofold. One, she can improve her craft at TNA, ROH, AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can even say she can go to Shine or let me see, Glam, or a couple of other women's wrestling promotions. She doesn't have to stay there permanently. She can stay there 2 or 3 years. And she wouldn't need to worry about cash. Look, she has a man she's in love with. That is the top guy in the company. She's already saved a lot of money, supposedly. If she wasn't stupid to waste the money, she probably saved a lot of money. She has a man who has also a lot of money. So if she wants to leave the company to try and perfect herself, she wouldn't have to worry about starving like most wrestlers who try to go in the independent scene and actually do something with themselves. In her case, she'll have money. She'll have a man who also has money. And she could actually go off and improve her ability. And this is the thing that not many people understand, that I do basically understand, and I do believe that does happen. When someone goes away from the WWE, maybe they got kicked out because they didn't have enough money because Vince used it like in his campaign. There are cases where they believe that they just are not getting anywhere. Yes, are not. Just not getting anywhere with them. They don't seem to be interesting the crowd. Sometimes they just don't seem to be getting anywhere. So they let them go, or they ask, like can't remember his name. I can't believe I'm blanking right now. But essentially, there are a couple of people who have been released because they asked to. And Justin Gabriel, there you go. I don't know why I blanked on him. Justin asked to get out of his contract. There's a lot of people that get tired because they don't seem to get anywhere. Now, sometimes when you go off, doesn't mean the WWE doesn't still watch you. If they find out that you've gone to another promotion, there are people who watch. So in some cases, like what happened with A-Train, he came back. At first, they actually did something different with him. He was working in New Japan Pro Wrestling for a while. And actually, he could have done something better. And to a certain extent, he did. But he still had most of his movesets. They just got tired of him. They dropped him. They dropped Tensai. But sometimes the WWE will still watch you. You can have evidence when you worked in those promotions. You can show them and say, hey, I've changed. I'm different. Give me another chance. Or, look, I left because I felt like I needed more. Here it is. I'm saying that with Nikki Bella, if she left now and went off to a couple of promotions for a couple of months in some, or a year or two to another, if she goes, works on her character, works on her in-ring work, works on her charisma, her physical shape, things could be different for her. Now, I'm not saying it will be, but it could be. Now, I'm sure a lot of people who love the Bellas are going to say, dude, why do we need to do that? My girls are getting whatever they needed and whatever they wanted. I'm glad to see them where they're at. Let me ask you this. Can you honestly believe they're getting the respect they deserve from wrestling community and fellow wrestlers? I'm being honest here. Fellow wrestlers who see what's going on, not all of them are going to believe that they even got what they got because of their ability. John is her man. And I'm sure a few people, even though they won't say it directly, will say, well, she's sucking his dick. Why not give her the high spot? Because that's her man. Brie, the same thing. So essentially, even if they worked their butts off the first 3 or 4 years, but then when they met the men, things changed. And people are probably thinking they got what they want because they suck some fucking dick and open their legs and let the guys fuck them to death. And their guys said, hey Vince, make sure my woman gets something better. I'm not saying that it's true or not. It can be true. But it may not be true. But this is what other wrestlers think, and this is what the fucking wrestling community thinks. They think the Bellas are a joke. They don't have any storylines. In many cases, their matches are not very long. And even if they do a good or a great match, it's negated because the storyline they're a part of completely makes it look irrelevant. So anyone who's a wrestling fan of the Bellas, if they believe that they got it perfect right now, they don't. And like I said, I'm not a Bella fan, but I'm a lover of good storyline, a good character development, a good story arc, and actually seeing somebody who does show great potential get somewhere. Look at Naomi. Naomi has been there for nearly 7 years. She's 6.5 years now. She's almost been there 7 years. Tamina's been there 7.5 years. She came in around the same time as the Bellas. And neither one of them has ever had a shot at the title. But the Bellas have now had multiple chances at the title, and multiple times they won. And it's not the point if Tamina's not a good talent. It's not the point if Naomi is a good talent. The Bellas are not great talents. But they were given the opportunity to try it. And someone in the business, someone in that office, either when John Cena said it or not, said, you know what? One of the reasons why we should keep these two together and give them title shots is because they're twins. And that's what most of it comes down to. They saw something in them that was a gimmick that could get somewhere. And that's what they've been mainly seen as. Now, if you believe that's all that matters, well, more power to you. But if you truly want to see the Bellas get somewhere, at least Nikki Bella, because Brie is stuck in a hard place. She has to keep working and be in shit. There's nothing she can do about that. But Nikki has a chance to leave, work on her craft, change herself, and then come back, and hopefully the WWE will do something different with her. But this is what I believe. Tell me what you guys think. So I hope you enjoyed this debate of the week. Please give me a comment below and tell me if you enjoyed my... I feel so sorry that Dusty is gone. We really needed him. But tell me if you liked it or not. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!